I want to do a quick update on these. These are the Zerrows or Zeros. I thought it was Zerrows. I've heard guys call it Zeros. Who knows? Japanese motorcycle boots, in quotes. I don't ride a motorcycle, but whatever. They called this the Dagres or Dagres dark brown or brown. I don't know what kind of leather it is. I haven't been able to figure out what it is. I can't find information online, but it's a really nice leather. It's thinner, but it makes them lighter and very comfortable. It creases, as you can see here. I think generally thinner leathers, like those, you saw that video I just did on my Rios of Mercedes. The thinner leathers crease more, but these definitely are thicker than those Rios. They hold their shape a little bit more firmly, whereas the Rios are super soft, which makes them comfortable. These are also very comfortable. This last is a great shape. They call this the flat, I think, is Zerro's flat last. It's kind of Munson-ish, definitely has a very generous toe. And I went true to size, so it's a very good fit. If anything, they might be, you could argue they're slightly big because I have to use the inserts. And I wear kind of not a medium thought, it's like a Dickies work sock from Target, but it's more of a boot sock than like the thin socks I typically like to wear. It's still like I would say maybe the same as like a Darn Tough lightweight. So they're not like a thick sock, but they're thicker than the thin socks I wear. But I think if I pulled out the inserts on these, I could probably wear them with a really thick, Darn Tough, like medium boot sock, or those gold toe, like winter socks I have. They're really thick cotton. But you could see this beautiful boot. Finishing is really nice. You see the heel stacked, 3 nice thick layers of leather there. I'd never seen this before. I think I showed this in that little quick video I did. But this is a 269 half sole. Oddly, I was looking at their site and they actually show a picture of their Pecos. This is a Pecos, but a different Pecos, a Western Pecos, I think they called it. And it has a tan 269 half sole. I didn't know they made that. The lining on the interior is very nice. There you can let me move this. Get the light in there. You might be able to see the insert. It's a black thin leather insert. There's the back. Just kind of show you the leather after a few wears. Not a ton of wear. The soles, there's a little bit on the edge, but I rotate through a lot of boots, so none of them are going to have a ton of wear. Let's switch boots here. Let's take a look at this one. I've got some really cool creasing on the toes. I don't use shoe trees anymore. I used to use them on flat boots, but ever since going to P&W with the arches, they just don't seem to fit as well, and they jam into the footbed, and just stuff like the 11067 and 310, the shoe trees aren't even shaped properly for those types of lasts, so I don't even bother anymore. And I kind of like the creasing, so don't need to try to hide it with a shoe tree. And I've heard some people argue they can cause mold because they hold it. I think the idea is you have to wait and put them in later when they've dried out, but that's kind of counterintuitive, I think. So yeah, quick little update on what they look like. These, I think what I've realized looking at the Zerrows or Zeros site, if someone knows how you're really supposed to say it, comment. I'm curious. Like what would a Japanese person, how would they say that word, Zeros or Zerros? These were a lot more expensive buying them from East West Apparel, and I think what it is you're paying like an upcharge. This is similar to what I was talking about in my other video on the Rios, but you're paying an upcharge to get it immediately versus MTO. Because if you go to Zerro's site right now, you can get a Western Pecos or there's various Pecos. Their site's strange, so don't like you click all collections. It doesn't actually show you all the boots they have. what I found is you have to search things on their site, but just search the word Pecos, Pecos, and it will show you, I think, like 8 or 10 different variants of Pecos boots. And they have a boot that's almost the same as this. It doesn't have this leather per se, but the terminology is weird. They call it like New York leather, NY leather. I don't know who makes this, Dagres or Dagres, Dagres, I guess is how you'd say it. But it's not a Horween product. I'm pretty certain of that. And it's not a Latigo, so based off that, I'm thinking it's one of their New York, is what they call it, leathers. But this boot is like 650, 649 or 647 is a weird price when you put it into US dollars. But you're waiting 14 to 16 months. So I think what it is a stockist like East West Apparel. They've done an order. They have a bunch in stock. Well, not a bunch, but they have some in stock. You buy it, and you're kind of paying, like you could say a $400, $300-$400 premium to get it immediately versus waiting a year and a half ish. So that's kind of interesting. I think if you have the appetite to wait and well, actually, I think you do know your size because I think these are true to size. I think Zerrows is true to size, and I've seen the same indicated on their forums and stuff. And even their little size conversion, if it says like US 11 and a half, they tell you to get an 11 and a half or 11H. They call their half sizes H. I would just buy from their site, and then you could save yourself some money. But you got to be willing to wait a long time. I might end up putting in an order for another pair, and just kind of plan to get it in a year and a half, 2 years, and just kind of not think about it, because this is a hell of a boot for $650. I wish I had paid that much instead of how much it cost to get it immediately. But I don't regret paying what I had to from East West Apparel, but it's knowing you can get them a lot cheaper from Zerrows directly or Zeros, just something I was thinking about. But waiting's hard. So anyway, last little quick look at those rolls. Really cool details, really comfortable. Highly recommend these boots, and seem to be pretty durable. They don't really stain too easily. I do have one little spot, but it's probably a chrome tan leather, but I don't know for sure. But they don't stain like a veg tan or something. Anyway, cheers.